Yeah, you all can start. We are live.
Okay, so welcome everyone to today's e-Yantriks session. It's so good to connect with everyone after a year. And I have two champion e-Yantriks with me, Naman and Anushka. So before we speak to them, I would like to tell you that e-Yantra robotics competition is the flagship competition of e-Yantra. And it is not just an opportunity to learn, but also a wonderful opportunity to be eligible for the coveted e-Yantra internship at IIT Bombay in 2023. So, as you know, the registrations are on, and you have a wonderful opportunity to avail the early bird discount offer of 20% till 10th of August. So, please make the most of it. And these competitions are basically organized in a way that they are very collaborative. We work in teams, we learn from one another, and at the same time, this year's eYRC has a surprise that it's open to all. No matter what stream are you from, which field are you from, as long as you want to learn something, it is open for you to learn step by step. And not just software, but we have hardware-based themes also this time, and we compete with international students. So with that, if you have any queries, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat window, and eYantra team will definitely get back to you to resolve your queries, doubts, etc. So before I call Naman to speak about his experience, I just want to quote Albert Einstein. He says that if you always do what you always did, you will get what you always got. So let's hear from Naman that what is that unique or different thing that he did in eYRC. So Naman, over to you. Welcome. Naman, you are on mute.
Uh, yeah. So first of all, hi everyone. Thank you for inviting me to share my views about my journey through the e-Yantra. So for e-Yantra, like it's a different competition as it like helps us learn side by side competing with others because as like a college student, I am in fourth year now, and if I compare my college studies to e-Yantra, it is like really different because this is the knowledge that you can actually apply on stuff. So yeah, I personally thrive on stages when I actually get to apply the things I have learned. So yeah, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Raman, it's wonderful, that you're able to, you like to apply things and learn from that. And tell us how that experience has been, this whole experience of EYRC. So if I remember correctly, I've been interacting with you for last 2 years and you've been participating in EYRC
Yeah.
again and again. So what is that, that keeps you going and or rather I would say keeps you attracting to EYRC?
So yeah, as you said, like my relationship with eYantra has been like long enough. I have been participating in for past 2 years. Last even last year we were finalists. We were fortunate enough to be finalists as well, and I had the pleasure of interning here. So even though like after such a long journey for competing 6 months and 2 months internship, like my team was like totally not in the process of competing again. But one of my partner insisted that this year we will live have in-campus internships and hardware-based themes. So yeah, we decided like yeah we can participate this year, but we will try a different tech stack. So we took functional programming, and we as we wanted to learn about fleet management and use fleet management with functional programming to build something new. So that's what we got. We had a theme called functional leader, and we as we were occupied with some stuff, we had to manage our time very carefully, and we had to create separate docs to so which person is going to do which task, and how those tasks are going to be achieved, that had to be pre-planned. And thankfully the competition is like very well planned. They already divide the a whole task into separate small 3 or 4 small tasks, that makes us like feel like that the task is doable and we can divide the work easily. So that's the like thing I like the most about eYRC, that's all the tasks are well planned and people can learn new tech stacks without feeling overwhelmed. So yeah, so like after the as the competition proceeded, like the it was a hardware based things can go really haywire in a second, because like as I remember, like my bot caught fire in the finals, and like that's the thing that which can pull your like morale down in a second. As you are under a deadline, you have to basically show your project. And fortunately, like we didn't lose hope, and that's the thing I tell my juniors as well, that I am enforcing them to participate this year as well, that you have to create that mentality that you have to keep on going. You can't stop until you have you have to keep on building stuff until you have a certain level of satisfaction, or like as the deadline crosses over. So yeah, once we reached the finals, like we all the like, but although we didn't win, but eYantra still I think saw potential in us, and so like many others that were like that did good in the competition, we were called in for interviews, for internships, and we were asked to choose from variety of projects. And personally, like I would have chosen like many other projects if I could, but we were asked to like just stick to one. So once we were like we chose the projects, they took interviews of students, and we were called for the in-campus experience. And like I could say, like it is absolutely delightful. I would like really do it again if I had the chance. uh, we had access to all the stuff, all the equipment that we don't have back home. We learned to do like quite very new things. All the mentors and staff members were extremely helpful. They were tending to all our needs and discussing problems and finding appropriate solutions. Rather, we can find it on the campus or like outside. We can sources outside. Like one time, I remember my mentor took me out for some laser cutting and stuff. And it's not just about work. Like we had a blast meeting with people all from all over the like all over the country, as they like quite synced with us because they traveled through the same eYantra journey that we did. We shared our experiences, we shared our knowledge, and we had a lot of fun. Like apart from the language barriers and cultural differences, we get along very good. And as like we did we played sports, watched late night movies, played video games, and even after a short period of time, like we were together for only 2 months, it was for a short period, but our views sync so much that we created a bond that like really cannot be forgotten. Like hats off to Yantra for that.
So wonderful, Naman. It's so wonderful to hear this, and like it reminds me of what Jackson Brown Jr. has shared. He says that nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. So Naman has made the most of the opportunities, I would say, that he got, because he's participated twice. Uh, will should we not make the most of these opportunities that we have? And let's also hear from Anushka. that what did she do when she had an opportunity to participate in eYRC. Let's hear her journey. Anushka, welcome.
Hello, I'm Anushka, studying in BMS College of Engineering, Electronics and Communications, second year. So, my theme in eYRC last year was Beriminator. Since it was a software based theme, I could remotely communicate with my team and get the work done. So, since eYantra had actually spaced out the tasks well, and we would start working on the tasks as soon as they came out, we didn't have much trouble juggling this and our academics. Okay, as for Yantra itself, it is split into two stages. Stage one is where you learn all the ropes about all the softwares you'll be using, and stage two is where you actually get to use it to implement the theme you have been given. People say that stage two is harder than stage one, but I personally disagree. I feel like stage one is far more frustrating at times because everything is so new, and even the most simplest of tasks becomes so daunting. When you get stuck somewhere, you can't see a way out. So, this is where most teams drop out. My advice to you is just do not give up, okay? Reread the manuals, reread all the resources, just keep trying something. Some small thing will click, and then everything will fall into place. And once you're done with stage one, congrats. Stage two is just your stage to dazzle the judges with your newly acquired skills. Before you know it, you'll be in the final task and then the pre-finale, which is just an adrenaline-fueled race against the clock and the leaderboard. And the finale is where you finally get to present your 6 months of hard work in front of a panel comprised of some of the best professors at IITB. They will critique your work and give you some really useful suggestions. And after that, if you're good enough, you will be given an interview where you can, where if you're good enough, you'll be chosen to work on some mind-boggling projects at IITB. The project which I chose was software-based. So I was put in a team with three other brilliant e-Yantriks from all over the country. And even though we had so many cultural differences, language barriers, we managed to work like a well-oiled machine. And if we ever got stuck, our mentors were always there to encourage us and to push us onwards. They would come with so many ideas, and it was just an amazing experience. And to add to all of this, Professor Kaviarya went to great lengths to organize so many great seminars and interactive sessions with some of the pioneers in our country. They were on so many diverse topics like geopolitics of food, the situation in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and how to write beautiful code. These things broaden our horizons and open our minds up. And finally, for the denouement of our e-Yantra journey, we were invited to IITB for 3 days, where we took part in so many talks with our fellow interns. We discussed how to take e-Yantra forward. And for the final exhibition, where we got to display our internship projects, so many faculty from IITB, the students, they all came to visit our stalls. And even some top officers in the Navy were interested in our projects. So I would say this was a great experience. And one of the most important things which stuck to me was that the eYantra team is more like a tightly knit family than an organization. And now I feel like I'm a part of it too. Thank you so much, eYantra, for this opportunity. Thank you.
So wonderful, Anushka. Thanks for sharing that. I think it's so wonderful that you remind me of this anonymous quote which says that families are like branches of a tree. We grow in different directions, yet our root remains as one. So, with that, I would like to know from each one of you about how has it been in terms of overall development, in terms of your career? So, how has this competition impacted you in that sense? If you could start sharing, Naman.
Yeah, so as I said before, I participated in last year's eYRC as well, and after competing in that competition, and completing my 2 months internship that was offered by the eYantra, so I had gained so much technical skills and it opened a chain reaction of opportunities for me. Like after completing my journey here at eYantra, my resume was so built up and I had gained so much experience with the projects that impressed companies and startups that paved me a path in the field of robotics. Like as I have been passionate about robotics since high school, but I was always skeptical about learning new stuff. So eYantra basically gave me this opportunity that I could grow not just in my technical skills but in my managerial skills as well. By participating in the competition, we learned about time management, we how to constructively manage our time with the different projects that were going on at the time. We had to plan everything and effectively dividing our work with our teammates and most importantly not getting scared of learning new things. So till date I'm still in my I'm stepping into my fourth year. I'm actively working with the two robotic startups for a year now as a robotics freelance robotics developer or intern, like you can say. And I also have co-founded a robotics community and a society in my college uh, called Atom Robotics, where we share knowledge and about knowledge about robotic technologies that are being worked on, and that motivation to start something like that I got from eYantra. Like we usually use the same methodologies about introducing children to new tech stacks like eYantra does. And in my opinion, like my big chunk of my achievement goes to eYantra, as it gave me the courage to it gave me a push to get out of my comfort zone and try something new. And even it's a funny thing that even after talking to my fellow colleagues at the companies I work with, I am surprised to notice that uh, almost every person there sometime have heard of or participated or started their journey with this eYantra competition. So that's amazing, seriously.
Wow, wonderful, Naman. It's so good to hear that, actually it's a global family, that everyone has participated in e-Yantra robotics competition or, can tread their way back to the roots. So it's so wonderful, and uh, uh, actually, your experience kind of shows the importance of this quote, which says that if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you're determined to learn, no one can stop you. And I think that's what I take back from Naman's experience because, uh, he's been challenging himself, he's been trying out new things. He participated in eYRC for the second time because he wanted to learn hardware, he wanted to try a theme based on hardware. So, you know, we need to challenge ourselves. So, with that, let me also invite Anushka to share about her impressions on this.
Okay, so let me confide in one thing. At the beginning of my third semester, I knew almost nothing. I was clueless. I had zero skills. Maybe some rudimentary Python, but that was it. So one of my friends asked me, "Have you heard of eYantra?" She was trying to form a team. When I looked it up, I was very apprehensive. I was like, I don't have any skills. Maybe I'll pick some up and participate next year. But she insisted. And to my surprise, 2 weeks into the competition, I found my familiarity grow with Python. And over the course of the entire competition, I picked up so many cool skills like 3D designing, robotic simulations, image processing, the list goes on. And all this was not learned in a stuffy classroom in a long, boring lecture. eYantra gave me the freedom to decide what I want to learn, when, and how I want to learn it. They would just give us a few resources and leave us free to explore on our own. But if we ever got stuck, they would always have their forum where we could ask our questions and the team developers themselves would clarify them for us. So I think some of the most important lessons I am walking away with from Yantra are not technical skills, they're life skills. So, for example, now I'm confident that I can learn anything. The internet is my best tutor, and I'm not hesitant to jump into complicated projects anymore. I know that every project can be broken down into simpler tasks, which, if you just slowly and steadily work on, you will eventually reach your end goal. And thirdly, but most importantly, I learned how to work in a team. Now, I know that in a team, everybody has different skill sets, but everyone also has their drawbacks. So, if you understand this, then you can easily leverage their skills to your benefit and propel yourself to victory. And these skills are not things which you can just learn from a book. You need hands-on experience. So eYantra gave me a great opportunity, and thanks. If any of you are still undecided about whether to participate, I urge you to give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. Thank you.
So wonderful, Anushka. I really liked this aspect about teamwork that you shared, and apart from whatever nice things that you shared from your experience, uh, and that reminds me of what Henry Ford has shared. He says that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. And that's what the magic is, something that we see in eYRC time and again, where students create this magic by coming together, by collaborating with each other. So, with that, I would really like to thank Naman and Anushka for sharing their journey with all of us so candidly. And hope everyone has, already registered for the competition. And if you've not registered, please make the most of the early bird offer, which is there till the 10th of August. Please do register. Registrations are open till 25th of August. So we are very excited to see you on this journey of eYRC, where we all learn together step by step. So, with that, I would like to thank everyone who's watching this e-Yantriks session. Thank you for taking out time to, hear the journey of Naman and Anushka. Thank you, Naman and Anushka. And I would like to thank the entire e-Yantra team for making this e-Yantriks session happen. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.